it's svgcoop.com, and we are ready to start making our newest mini album. This is MA007. If you're a subscriber, this is our 7th book in our series. And we're going to be doing a superhero book that you can use for dad or anything else. And if you wanted to, actually, you could turn it into a new home book. Really, it's a little bit flexible, but we just want to get started here. So I just kind of laid out some of what my pages are going to look like, my cover and such. So I'm just going to move these aside for the moment. And you're going to have a bunch of pieces that look like this. I decided not to use chipboard this time because sometimes cutting chipboard to get it the exact size is a little bit challenging, and also I didn't want to have chipboard showing on the tops and stuff like that. So what I decided to do was cut 3 layers of paper that we're going to use, and actually in this case it's going to work out a little bit better for us. So you're going to cut your binding pieces, and you're going to cut your I did use chipboard for this. I will get a measurement for you, but I believe that this is 2.5 by 10 inches. So I'm just going to put that aside. And you can see I actually used a cereal box to cut this time instead of like the regular chipboard. And I also cut a couple of sheets like this, and you will get the count in the PDF instructions. Okay, so you're going to have a long piece like this. Put it this way for a second so you can see. And there's score marks along here. So I'm just going to fold this up along its score marks just so that they're kind of set. Okay, and the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to glue this like this. So we want to glue the first part of the cover right this way. Now I'm thinking, do I want to put it on the outside or the inside? Yeah, I think we'll put it on the inside this way. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to get some glue along the inside tab here. And this is a new type of binding that we're doing this time. I mean, it's not totally new, but because the book is shaped weird, this is the first time we're doing this. So this is kind of a we'll see how this works out type of thing. And of course, by the time you get to this, you'll know if it worked out or not. So I'm just gonna get some good glue here. Okay, and I'm just using tacky glue. And I'm just gonna line this up essentially with my book and glue that down. Like that. Okay, you can see I know this is a little bit long, this book, so it's a little bit harder to see here. And I'm going to do the same for the other side. I'm just going to get the glue. I'll do it sideways. Hopefully that'll make it so you can see it a little bit better. Okay. And I'm going to take one of the other pieces here. You can see I'm just going to push this down and line this right up with where the page is. Okay, like that. It should line up perfectly, and then I'm going to fold it over. Okay, so essentially this is kind of what our book is going to look like when we're ready. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do next is I'm going to glue the next 2 pieces that are going to go in the center like this, and this is just to give it some strength. So I'm just going to get this glued down. And that's just going to line up right in the center there like that. And then you're going to do that again with the next piece. Sometimes I fly a little bit by the seat of my pants as I'm putting these together because I designed these originally, and you're watching me put it together for the first time as well. So it's not as though this is something that, you know, I'm doing that somebody else created. So that's why sometimes it might seem like, yeah, flying by the seat of our pants. How to get this to work. Okay. So now what I think I want to do is, let's see, we're going to put, let's see, let me grab my other layers here. So these are the other pieces of our page. So this is actually our back cover, and then the front cover is almost identical. I just switched the way the lighting is, so it looks like the building's got a little bit of opposites, plus these little circles are going to go in the front of your building. So that's actually going to be the front of our book. So when you place these things, we have to make sure we do this the right way. So I'm going to take these couple of pieces, all of the blue layers. Let me just move these out of the way for a second. Okay, so you're going to have three pieces that look like the outside pieces. I know it's a little bit hard to see. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get these glued in like this, and let's see, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to put one on the inside, I think, and one on the outside for each one of these. So let's get some glue here. Sorry, I know this is really big and it's a little bit hard to see. But I'm just basically putting glue all over here, and I'm going to line it up with the edge of this side here, like that. I'm going to do the same with the other side. This book is going to be super fun. And Cricut actually just came out with a new cartridge of some Marvel characters, which would go excellent. The timing was perfect. They just came out with it, I think, a day or two ago. And I was so excited because I literally had been working on this book since the beginning of the month. And then they came out with something that's going to work great with it. Okay. So I'm going to flip the book over. Let's see, I'm trying to decide if I want to put this on the inside or the outside. Yeah, I think we can probably stand to put it on the outside. Okay, so I'm just going to take another layer of these two blue pieces. I'm going to glue them to the outside of my book. I always recommend too that when you're doing these, watching these videos, definitely watch the video before you put your book together, just in case I make a change while we're halfway through, because it's been known to happen before. It's just one of those things where you kind of figure out something works out better a different way. So probably always a good idea to watch the movies first. Okay, and one more. nice and lined up. Okay. All right, and since we have the front of our books open and we have the pages already cut, might as well start. So this, your right side is gonna, when you have it flipped this way, your right side is gonna be the front and your left is your back. So on the front, we have some pieces here. The first layer you're going to do is the yellow, so we'll get that glued down. And this is going to be the same for the front and the back cover of our book. Okay. And these are really just opposites, but you have to make sure that you keep the right yellow with the right like gray on the top, because the windows will match up better. Okay, so get that. And then the next layer is going to be a light gray. Of course, you can make your building anything you want. I kind of liked the gray. Again, I'm trying to stay on screen here, but it's such a big book. It's a little hard. The measurement of the book is actually on the inside about 7 by 9 3/4, so it's not as big as it might seem like it is, but it's big enough. I wanted to make sure you could have 2 sets of 4 by 6s going across, and definitely room for some 5 by 7s. Okay, so see that? It's just going to line up like that. Oh, sugar. This was one of those cases where this is why you want to watch the video first. Okay, I'm going to take this off again. I'm sorry. We need to get this little red piece in. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put some glue on here. Oy, so sorry. And we're just going to get this to go across our building. And it doesn't matter exactly where you put it. You just put it where you want it. That is my bad. Okay. Sorry about that. So you just put the little glue on the tabs and get that right in there. Then you can get the rest of the building down. Okay. Then you're going to have, I'm going to just tuck these things right underneath. So I'm going to put my my white burst first. And since we didn't glue the middle down, these will slip right in underneath, just like this. And you can put them kind of however you want. And then I have a blue circle. And we have a star. Okay, then we also have this top piece of our building. Just get some glue on here. I wanted it to look a little, the paper I got was Marvel, so I kind of just wanted to go with sort of a mix between Gotham City and like where Spider-Man is. So it's just to give the appearance of, there you go, see that? It goes around the top like that. Okay, and then I've got a couple of little circles just to give our building a little interest. Of course, if you wanted, you could put a little spider up here or something for Spider-Man. You could also figure out, you know, whoever your favorite hero is. Put something on the front of your building if you wanted. Okay, and then I have a little gray bar here. This is kind of like the foundation of our building. And just get that on here on the bottom. All right, so then what I did was I cut my superhero out of vinyl, and my superhero is going to be Daddy this time. So I'm just gonna get this, my superhero first, and it goes right along with the curve of our red banner. So I'm just gonna get that up like that. Okay, and I'm just going to center that on here. Give it a good little rub. And then I'm going to do the same for the Daddy. Because in our house, he is our superhero. So I'm just going to get that centered on here. Okay, so that's the front. And we're going to do the same pretty much for the back. So I'm just going to flip this upside down. We're going to build this one upside down. But it's the same concept. So the back is a little bit easier. Or, well, I say easier, but it's really the same thing. It's just a matter of it's fewer layers. So I'm going to get some glue on my yellow. Just get this like this. And I'm doing this upside down so you can see maybe a little bit better here. I don't know if it's going to help, but we'll try. So you're just going to get that lined up. Give it a good rub. Like that. Okay. And then we're going to go with the gray. Get some glue. Okay, I'm just going to put some in between here. Okay, again, just get this lined up and glued down. Okay, and then the final piece is our little top piece. Okay. Okay, so that is going to be the front and back of our book, and you can see it's coming along pretty good. Okay, so our next step is going to be our binding and what's going to go inside. So we'll be right back. Thanks for watching.